Okay, we're at the checkup. Okay, what I want you to try to do is do the checkup by yourself without using the video, please. For the checkups, what I want you to do is just use the video as reference. Do everything that you can do by yourself, and then the stuff that you can't do, um, go to the video and look at how I do the problems. Okay, by now, if you've done everything that we've gone through, you should already be able to do the checkups by yourself. Look back and study. If you need to look at the videos again, do it so that you can do the checkup by yourself. If you do the checkups by yourself, then when you get to the test, or when you finish the book, you'll already be ready for the test because you know that you know how to do everything. All right? So try to do the checkup by yourself. That said, let's go into the first problem. So the directions here tell us find the algebraic sum. That means that they want us to add these. Okay, remember what we learned. You can only add terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. So that means we're going to be able to add these two because they have the same variable and the same exponent. Same variable, same exponent. And that's going to give us 4xn. And this one, we're not going to add it to anything since there's no sign. We know it's positive, so we're just going to write 2xn. Okay? All of these have the same variable and the same exponent, right? So we can combine all of them. Remember, when there's no sign, it's positive, and so 12 is positive, 3 is positive, so that means we're going to add them. 15a squared minus 14a squared equals just a squared, 1a squared. 1a squared, but we don't write the 1 because it's understood to be there, so we just write a squared, okay? Okay, so we've got x squared, and that's it, just 1x squared, so that we can't combine it with anything because there's no like terms, so that's going to stay by itself, 4x squared. Then we've got xy here, and that's it. So what we have is a positive xy and a negative xy. When the signs are different, we subtract. So 2 minus 1 is just xy, and since the bigger number is negative, it's going to be a negative xy. Okay, so cancel that out because we're done with those. And then we have 3y squared and y squared. That's just 4y squared, and it's positive because they're both positive. 4y squared. Okay, here we can combine all of these, right? A positive xn and a negative 3xn. When the signs are different, we subtract, so that's going to give us a negative 2xn. We got a negative 2xn, xn, and a positive 5xn. The signs are different, so we subtract, so that's going to be 5 minus 2 is 3. It's going to be a positive 3 because the bigger number is positive. 5 is positive, the bigger number is positive, so our answer is positive. So we got 3xn. Here what they're saying is subtract by changing the sign of the subtrahend. The subtrahend is the second number in a subtraction problem. I didn't explain that to you on the other page, but the subtrahend is the second sign the second number in a subtraction problem. Okay. Well, here what we have is a negative. Since they want us to subtract 7m squared minus a negative 3m squared. Remember, this means take away the negative. So what we get is a negative 7m squared plus 3m squared. And since the signs are different, we subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4m squared. And since the sign of the bigger number is negative, our answer is negative. Okay. 17b minus a negative 16b. See this negative here? That's this negative right here. But since they told us subtract, we've got to add our own negative, or insert our own negative. So what's going to happen is that this means take away the negative, so we get 17b plus 16b equals 33. 33b, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 33b. They already added the subtraction sign for us, or inserted the subtraction sign for us, so we don't have to do that. We just got to subtract the negative. That gives us 3an plus 2an. What that equals is 5an. Remember, when you're adding or subtracting, you don't add the exponents. That's only when you're multiplying. When you're adding or subtracting, the exponent stays the same. If we were to multiply these two, 3an times 2an, what we would get is 2 times 3 is 6, and then we have 2n, so we're gonna add the n's because we're multiplying. It would be 2n, but we're not multiplying, we're adding or subtracting, so the n stay the same. I don't add them or subtract them, it stays the same. Okay, so here we've got 5anxm minus a negative 3anxm. Okay, this negative here is this negative here. What I did is I added that negative because they told me to subtract. So since this means take away the negative, so I'm going to have 5anxm plus 3anxm. Okay, our answer is 5 plus 3 is 8anxm. Here what they're telling us to do is find the products. The product is the answer in a multiplication problem. In case you didn't know that. Okay? A product is the answer in a multiplication problem. Okay, so they say find the product. So here, since we're multiplying, we are gonna add the exponents, but we can only add the exponents of the variables that are the same. So here, there's no variables that are the same. You got a and b, so we can't add any exponents. All we're gonna do is figure out what our sign is. Well, we have 1, 2 negatives. So our signs are it's an even number of negatives, right? So when it's an even number of negatives, our answer is positive. And so our answer is positive. Now we're going to do our numbers. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 3 is 12. And 3, 42. And our answer is positive. And since this is 1, 42 times 1 is 42. And then we're going to figure out what our variables are. They're a, b, and x. Okay. It's positive. 42, a, b, x. Here, all we can do, since we don't know what n is, and when we're multiplying, we add the variables, we add the exponents, the only thing I can write is x n plus 2. Because I don't know what n is, so I can't add it to 2, so the best I can do is just say n plus 2. Okay. Now here, we don't have any numbers, so the answer is 1. The number is going to be 1. They're all positive, so our answer is going to be positive. Now let's do the variables, all the a's. Oh no, I'm sorry. There is a number. The number right here is 2. So 1 times 1 times 2 is 2. Since they're all positive, our answer is positive. Now let's do the variables. A. So I'm going to put an A. This is to the first, this is to the second, this is to the first. Remember, when we're multiplying, we add the exponents. So that's going to be a to the fourth. Because 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Okay, so we got the a's out of the way. Okay, now let's do the b's. 1, 1, 2. So that's b to the fourth. And then let's do the x's. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4, so that's x to the fourth. That's our answer. Here we have 1 negative, so that's an odd number, so our answer is negative. We do the numbers, that's 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Then x squared times x, we add the exponents, so that's going to give us x to the third. And then here it's y to the first and x and y to the second, so that's y to the third. Okay. Sign. Here we're dividing, right? Simplify the following they're telling us to do. Here we're dividing. Remember, the rules for signs are the same with multiplying and division. Okay, when there's an odd number of signs, we write it's a negative. So here we have just one sign that's an odd number, so our answer is negative. 8 divided by 64 is 8. And then we subtract. In multiplication, we add the exponents. In division, we subtract the exponents. So 4 minus 2 is x to the second. Okay, I'm running out of time, so there's going to be a part 2 to page 10. So look for part 2.